All right, we are back with Michael Green, the leader of Dakota Financial here in Los Angeles. Mike, you've got a diverse background. You were in day trading, then you were founder of a startup. You're the CEO of Dakota Financial, as I mentioned, an equipment leasing company, among other things, and education, good education in finance and entrepreneurship. Can you share with the audience how you've evolved in your career, even starting with, like, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was growing up, I wanted to be a sports agent because I was a young athlete and I loved sports, and I thought the business of sports would be really fun. Um, I think once I got to business school, it was just a different way of thinking, and I think I got the bug even in my first entrepreneur class that was taught by an adjunct. Most of the entrepreneur classes at Wharton are taught by adjunct entrepreneurs who are not necessarily full-time professors, and I think the dynamicism of him and sort of posing the question in the class of entrepreneurship isn't a risk, taking a job is a risk when you're 22 and you have nothing else to lose, and you could just be stuck in that job for a period of time. And so he really sparked all of us to get the entrepreneurial bug, and I think the business school had a great way of teaching you how to think a certain way, and made it interesting and fun, that it was just kind of all a game of being on a quest for learning constantly.
And how did that lead then to, because I noticed you did finance and entrepreneurship, not just
Yeah,
finance.
sure. Well, yeah. I mean, it's tough to go to Wharton and not try to major in finance just because that's what they're best at.
Right.
I enjoy the entrepreneur stuff much more. So I think that being an entrepreneur is, again, and I think I've said this to you before, is just paying attention to opportunities that present themselves around you,
Hmm.
assessing them, and maybe some people see opportunities every day and don't really think of them as opportunities, assessing them, and then taking advantage of them. And so all the things that I've done in my life have just been, hey, I'm out looking for opportunities, and themselves, and that's worth the time or not. And then you'll see, when I got out of college, I was potentially in the entertainment business for a very, very brief moment of time. It didn't go well. And I was visiting a buddy from Wharton who was doing the trading business, and said, why don't you open an office in LA? So an opportunity presented itself. I asked, well, what do I got to do? And so it became interesting to me. And then when that was coming to an end, my aunt was trying to sell her software company and needed some help, and I got involved in that, and I was deciding if I wanted to do that. And then I met a guy playing golf who was telling me about his business that seemed like a unique risk arbitrage opportunity, even though he didn't describe it that way. And that's when I learned about sort of subprime equipment finance, and decided to get involved in that. I think that I've always liked entrepreneurship, and so I think during the hard times of the financial crisis, when I was unhappy, I kind of, everyone has those moments where they say, what do I want to do with my life, whether I made $1 or $1,000,000.
Hmm.
And I remembered how fun entrepreneur class was at Penn, about reading business plans and writing the analysis, and that's what prompted me to join the Tech Coast Angels, because it was just kind of going back to what was fun for me. Feeds the soul, so to speak, after going through sort of hell and back during the financial crisis.
Yeah, I want to get to the Tech Coast Angels, but before that, so did you see was Wolf on Wall Street about you, or did you see that before you went into day trading, or after?
Day trading business I was in from '97 to 2002, so it was right at the beginning of the craze, and then through the craze, and then after the craze, which was, it kind of ended after September 11th, honestly.
Hmm.
I got involved just because I met these guys, and then you're right, I skipped a step. Is when I was in that business, I felt like there was an opportunity in the market for there was E-Trade, that was people that were trading kind of once a day, and there was the day traders. My guys were trading 50 trades a day, and I thought that the people maybe that wanted to trade sort of E-Trade on steroids, there was an opportunity. So I licensed the software from the day trading guys, started a broker dealer, and founded sort of an online trading platform that was kind of had the tools of the day traders, but was meant for an everyday guy that wanted to maybe make a couple trades a day. And so I raised some angel capital, and we started that and had a commercial on CNBC. But unfortunately, it sort of launched right when the market sort of tanked.
Right.
But I was able to actually sell the software that we had built to another person, sell to the broker dealer, and all the investors got their money back. But it was a painful couple of years, because I really thought it could have been something cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been there, in that situation. Now, you mentioned Tech Coast Angels. I mean, your entrepreneurial spirit obviously continued there, and then you actually became president. So there's a lot of entrepreneurs in our business audience and clients of ours. Firstly, what would you advise them in just starting up a business? I mean, about finding and pitching for funding, etc. Either at the concept stage, or even while they're in the midst of trying to make their business work and get the funding for it at the same time. What kind of advice would you give them?
On which part?
Well, the
That was
first
that
part
was
would be, yeah, it's a good point. On the first part would be like just starting up a business. Like what do you have to be thinking of? What do you have to, what's your mindset? Everything you need to have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at least speaking for technology stuff and tech sustainable stuff, you really need to be solving a real pain point. Sometimes we'll see a pitch where like it's a solution looking for a problem. Those are tougher. I
Right.
think a lot of businesses you hear about are someone that is experiencing a pain point in something that they're doing in work or personally, and they feel like, God, wouldn't it be great if this existed? And so I think businesses that are solving a real need or relieving a pain point always resonate well with investors because we can all imagine what that pain point is when it's explained to us and say, oh, that makes a lot of sense. The part that's important though is that just a good idea or is it actually a good business opportunity? Meaning, is there a market that exists? Is it scalable?
Right.
Can it actually become a business? But I think the first step is recognizing a pain point, and if you have a solution for that, then I think that's the first step to a business.
Sure. Yeah, and then a lot of companies or a lot of businesses they start, and there's a time issue. They need more money to keep growing, but they got to keep doing their business. How do you find how do they balance that?
I think that a lot of it comes down to the strategy of the capital structure of a business, meaning um, if you know that you're going to lose money from day one, then you really need to go out and raise money and pitch the idea and define what success is. And maybe success is acquiring a certain number of customers. And then you raise money around acquiring customers knowing you're going to lose money. And there's many internet businesses that you and I could talk about that lost money for a long time and everyone knew they were losing money. In fact, I think Airbnb still loses money. I
Yeah.
mean, because they're just proving that the business the model for success is customer acquisition or something else.
Right.
And so if the model is not profitability, I think the first step is recognizing what success is and making sure that investors are aware of that, and then you can still raise money through those times. I think what gets tougher is if success means capital success, financial success, and you're eating up capital to do that. I think if you don't have something scalable, it's hard to raise money. I think what you're trying to show is, hey, for every dollar I get, I can turn that into $1.50 or $3. Therefore, give me more dollars. I think that's easy. I think what's tough is saying, I haven't really figured out how much this dollar turns into, and then you try to raise money, and investors are saying, well, I don't know what that dollar is going to become, and so it becomes difficult.
That's
So I think that defining success, what success is, and making sure that you raise money accordingly. And if you are a growing business, it needs to be scalable, and you need to be able to show people that the unit economics, that if they're going to put a dollar in, what it's going to do for the business. I think if those things aren't clear, it's tough to raise money.
Do you find at Tech Coast Angels that most of the people pitching, the founders of their company, are the people that end up being the CEO and leader of their company?
Not all the time. There's many companies we see that the guy admits that he doesn't want to be the CEO and that he wants to bring in one. There's plenty of guys that pitch that say they're going to be in the group, looks at each other and says, well, this is a great business, but this guy can't be the CEO.
Hmm.
I think that you see all of the above. If someone is capable of bringing the business to where it needs to go for investors, people want that person to be the CEO. If that person has limitations and it's clear to everyone that there's going to be limitations for whatever reason to get in the way, then it's tougher. I think it's been easier for guys that have stayed in because they've showed that they're successful and can grow their companies, from young guys, like Levin at Box or whoever. They've been able to show their success and hire people around their limitations.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. So, for up and coming leaders, which I was joking with somebody the other day when I came back again from Palo Alto, saying that I love going there, except I feel both old and reinvigorated all at the same time when I'm up there. But for up and coming leaders, can you describe how relationships that you've developed over the years actually do impact your career and your growth?
I'm cautious on this one because I think there are people that are professional networkers, and I think that they think that being a professional networker is what makes them successful. Um, I think people that have genuine relationships and people that are genuine and get people to believe in their skill set in a genuine way, good things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you have two relationships, hopefully those two people understand you, know what you're capable of, and if they see something that is right for you, they're going to tell you. I'm not a fan of, unless you're in the business of selling, for example, you're a consultant, in which case relationships matter, then that's your marketing, that's your business and networking. But I think that some young people get confused that the more people they know is the more successful they are. I think that meaningful, real relationships matter. And in my world, even whether it's the bankers that I met 7 years ago who are now my bankers today, I think they've seen me grow. They know who I am. I've known them for a long time. I think building real relationships is what helps you grow your business and opportunities. And I think that people are pretty smart and see through when the intentions are different.
Yeah, I think if I go to summarize what you just said, I think you're defining the difference between a relationship and contacts.
Okay. Sure. Yes. Agreed.
So that then and I
So
would
so
agree
how
with you.
important is it? You can't do anything. You can't do everything by yourself. So I think it's important to have good professionals around you, great advisors around you, and conduct yourself in an ethical way in your life so that when you do come across people that they help you up as opposed to people wanting to keep you down.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. So we have a few personal questions here.
Yeah,
Not that personal, but personal. Do you have a
yeah,
pet or any pets?
I do. I have a Wheaton Terrier named Wookie
Wookie.
dog.
All right.
Yes,
That sounds good. We'll have
named
to get
after
a
Chewbacca.
Oh, that's good. We'll have to get a picture of you and him because we have been putting together a series called Pets and Their Executives, which is
Okay,
a long story how we got that. So you'll have to send us a picture of that. I think I know the answer to this. Do you have a favorite activity or sport?
I do. I love baseball and hockey. I play men's baseball, hardball, and I'm trying to play ice hockey.
No, you're doing pretty damn good. Scored a bunch of goals this season, man. Do you have a favorite movie and or TV show?
Oh, a TV show could be Friday Night Lights.
Oh,
Is a great series on. I love movies, so it's hard to pick one. But I mean, I love Top Gun. I love Shawshank Redemption. There's a lot of movies I love, but those would be in the top two maybe.
yeah, good choices. How about a favorite book by any chance?
See, I'm a little literature challenged and speaking challenged and writing challenged. That's the problem with Wharton is I think I took one English class in 4 years. I do read. I tend to read nonfiction business books.
Hmm.
So I don't really have a favorite novel. I'm embarrassed to say, but I really don't read much. I have to say. So
Well,
food,
I could
yes, I
recommend
love.
one. I
I
could
get
recommend.
very excited about food.
No, okay,
Cheesesteaks, food trucks, Italian food, steaks. I get very excited about food.
awesome. And music?
Music, diverse doesn't music doesn't rule my life, but I enjoy it. I enjoy from rap to my daughter's teeny bopper pop 40 stuff to some classic rock.
Good for you. Good variety. By the way, a good book I'm reading now is called Disrupt You by Jay Samit, who I've gotten to know. He talks about how disrupting not only an industry per se, but disrupting the value chain within an industry. It's actually quite
Good
fascinating.
business book.
Business book, yeah, called Disrupt You. So I recommend it, and I'm not even getting commission.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
So hey, thanks a lot for participating. We've got a few more questions we're going to come to. So
Uh oh.
hang on.